the station working for you.
Alabama's Conservation Advisory Board will look at a proposed rule in March for catching bass during tournaments on 6 lakes along the Coosa River. Bass tournaments and local leaders have taken action opposing the rule, which would prevent competitive anglers from taking fish between 14 inches and 20 inches to live weigh-ins. The city of Gaston says the rule would have a negative economic impact on the city, adding they may not be able to bid on future tournaments. ABC 3340's Erin Wise spoke with the Freshwater Fisheries Division to get a better understanding of what went into this proposal.
If we have to base our recommendations on scientific data, that's our foundation.
Alabama Wildlife and Freshwater Fisheries Director Chuck Sykes says putting in place a 14 to 20-inch slot limit for black bass during live weigh-in tournaments is the best option to restore fisheries along the Coosa River. The limit would prevent competitive anglers from taking fish within that range to weigh-ins.
If the slot limit does what my fisheries biologists are predicting it's going to do, under good conditions, in 3 to 5 years, the fishery is going to be recovered to a point where the tournaments are not going to be worried about a 14 to 20 inch fish because they're going to be catching fish above 20 inches.
Sykes says methods like restocking with smaller fish don't work. The slot limit is believed to be less impactful to bass tournaments than regulating how many tournaments can be held each year, when they can happen, and how many anglers can participate. A 3-year Auburn University research project on Neely Henry Lake was funded in response to complaints the division received about declining fishery quality on the Coosa River.
And the data is showing is tournament mortality.
The division says Coosa River reservoirs are smaller and more vulnerable to impacts from tournament mortality. The study stated tournament anglers are seeking large, fast-growing, and female fish. Research showed 45% of bass weighed in during tournaments on Neely Henry died before or after release. The mortality rate was estimated to be higher during hot weather. 50% more females were weighed than males because they're larger. Female survival is essential to continuing fisheries.
I think tournament fishermen really try their best to keep the fish healthy. And there's been a lot of technology that's improving that. But kind of common sense, if you're riding 5 fish around in a live well all over the lake, they're getting stressed to the hilt.
Conservation Advisory Board member Jeff Martin agreed with the proposal.
We can't look at today. We have to look at tomorrow and years down the road to save our resources.
The new regulation will be presented on March 8th at 9 a.m. during the Conservation Advisory Board meeting in Montgomery. In Hoover, Erin Wise, ABC 3340 News.
Organizations like the Alabama Bass Trail have released statements opposing the rule, saying in November the proposed regulation may do more harm than good. ABC 3340 has scheduled an interview with the ABT to understand the potential impact to them. We'll have that story for you on Monday.